What's up, Army? Welcome back to Redemption 46 Studios. I'm Nick. Man, y'all seen the picture, y'all seen the thumbnail, y'all know exactly why y'all here. Jung Kook, Golden, BTS reunion, in connection with Army Apple Music interview. A lot of y'all been banging on the table for this. Here it is. Sorry, y'all, about it not being like a full panel. Like I told y'all, I love being very transparent up here. We're shooting a movie right now. Some people are in the process of like moving and everything like that. Other people who are also involved in the movie also have other stuff that's going on as well. That kind of has them in and out of town as far as Ty Nas and other people. Julio, he was away doing a construction gig that basically took over like 2 months of kind of his life and everything like that. And this week just been crazy too. We was working our ass off and everybody ended up like getting sick. Me and Zach was trying to thug it out and was doing videos for y'all on the last drop, and I'm still getting over a cold. I'm still kind of congested. Still was taking like some meds and everything like that, and I'm pre-recording this. Like I literally go film in about like an hour and a half, 2 hours and stuff. So yeah, I wanted to start my day off right. I wanted to get some of this Jung Kook content in. Believe it or not, reactions are just very therapeutic to me. BTS, I'm not gonna go into a long tangent, but BTS came into my life when I needed them the most, when I was going through so much, and a lot of times I find them being like my center. Um, I always be like listening to like Love Yourself and everything when I'm going through like crazy shit. And sometimes when I need to pick me up or I'm just trying to get like in the right space, I can just cut on some good BTS content and it'll just get me right. So I wanted to do this right before I had to kind of start off my day and everything, just to kind of zen me out and to ironically get me right. But I want to hear what Cookie has to say. I've heard a little bit from other interviews and stuff like that. He looks good right here. But let's see what's up. This is a nice lengthy interview, man. I'm here for it.
아니 제가 옛날에 막 소심하고 막 자신감도 없고 막 그랬었는데 데뷔 때부터 지금까지 활동을 해가면서 나에 대해 알아가는 게 있고 수식어가 없고 이런 성과들을 보면서 자신감도 없고 여러 가지 그 전부가 합쳐져서 만들어진 앨범이라서 제 인생에서 물론 팀 활동도 너무 중요하긴 했지만 그와 똑같이 굉장히 중요한 순간이라고 생각을 해서
Few cities have made as powerful a first impression on me as Seoul.
That looks
Dizzying
fucking
combination
beautiful.
of history, progress, sights, sounds, smells. A place where the community has found space by going up, but its identity.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna bring it back, and for all of y'all know, I kind of hate pausing, but man, I want to go to Seoul so bad, man. I really want to go to Seoul so bad. I'm gonna fuck around and get like 6 plane tickets and take the bros, and just vlog everything while we out there, get some content in.
It's firmly rooted at ground level, where the old soul meets the
The
new
new Seoul.
the new industry, the superstars, the modern icons. You see them on digital billboards all over town. But the first and the biggest of the superstars in K-pop to come out of Seoul and reach the world are BTS. Together with big hit they built Hype, and this 19-story building where dreams come to make true, and where we get a chance to meet Jung Kook, who after reaching unimaginable heights with BTS has a new dream, a golden dream, for the golden youngest. This is a rare and honest conversation about a special moment in time, Army, for your Jung Kook.
This is beautiful here. It's a beautiful view of a city that I mean it's not where you're from, but does it feel like home? Yeah, Seoul? 그렇죠. 아야 그래도 고향은 부산이 제가 태어난 곳이 훨씬 더 고향인 느낌 같고 근데 이제 익숙하죠 많이 익숙하고 처음 왔을 때랑은 너무 다르죠.
Busan is that way, I think. Is it?
I don't know. 쪽으로 내려가야 돼.
I'm glad he ain't bullshit.
Yeah, close to, on the coast, yeah, about 240 kilometers away, I think. A lot of your fans will have never been to Busan. Did you have a fun childhood growing up in Busan?
솔직히 부산에서의 기억은 딱히 막 많지는 않은 것 같아요. 여기 서울 올라와서 연습생 생활하고 너무 많은 경험을 지금까지 하고 있기 때문에 그 기억 메모리가 그렇게 막 좋지는 않아요. 그래서 솔직히 아쉽지만은 옛날의 기억은 딱히 크게는 없는 것 같아요. 많이.
What about music? You obviously love music. It's your life now, music. And I think we all want to know, what was the sort of first music that you really discovered, that you fell in love with, that you knew was yours?
일단은 어릴 때는 그렇게 음악을 좋아하는 친구는 아니었고 이쪽 일을 시작하면서 점차 좋아지게 됐는데 이제 저희 앨범 중에 화양연화라는 앨범이 있고 그 곡을 들었을 때 진짜 그러니까 뭔가 음악을 하는 사람 입장에서 약간 이렇게 좋은 음악이 나와버리니까 그때 약간 묘한 어떤 새로운 감정을 그때 느꼈던 것 같아요. 그래서 그때부터 약간 멋있는 음악이나 좋은 음악을 더 찾게 되고 더 하고 싶어졌던 것 같아요.
What kind of kid were you when you came to Seoul?
So I'm gonna bring that back. I told y'all I hate pausing. That is very interesting. Obviously him being the youngest member, and just even being an adult. Sometimes you just know when you have a love for something. Somebody could have started cooking at like 5 years old or something like that, and they kind of just knew it clicked for them. Clearly he has some type of love for music, for him to want to do everything that he did, before getting into BTS, and then just all the hard work and the sacrifices that JK had to make, early on within BTS. He's the boy genius, the boy wonder, but, outside of that title, he had to work really, really hard to just keep up with that and then, precede that or just kind of like beat out expectations. So it's very interesting that he brought up that album to, in but so many words, saying that kind of further pushed him into music and wanted him to get more into everything. And I'll bring that back because I don't want to put words in his mouth.
일을 시작하면서 점차 좋아지게 됐는데 이제 저희 앨범 중에 화양연화라는 앨범이 있고 그 곡을 들었을 때 진짜 그러니까 뭔가 음악을 하는 사람 입장에서 약간 이렇게 좋은 음악이 나와버리니까
From the perspective of being like a musician, when we created that, I felt impressed. It was this new feeling in music for me. So it was like, falling in love with music as like a child was one thing, but once you're kind of in it and you're a musician and you have like that moment where it's just like, damn, I'm in it and now I have a new feeling, appreciation and love, is an amazing thing. And then, as a fellow creator, I know that feeling.
약간 묘한
I love it.
새로운 감정을 그때 느꼈던 것 같아요. 그래서 그때부터 약간 멋있는 음악이나 좋은 음악을 더 찾게 되고 더 하고 싶어졌던 것 같아요.
What kind of...
I keep pausing there. I'm so sorry. Even that's interesting in itself because I can only imagine Cookie from that point just being on the type time, you know what? I grew up listening to this. Now I want to study this person, or now I want to dive into music a little bit more and listen to this. It's very interesting where somebody gets so eclectic with something, and your taste, your palate gets so great that now you want to try out different things or just listen to different things and have a different perspective on it. And I think that's beautiful.
Kid were you when you came to Seoul? Who do you think you were when you got here? What was exciting to you? What scared you? What's your personality like? Were you confident?
굉장히 내성적인 친구였고 부산은 건물이 되게 낮은데 그 다음에 시내 가도 그렇게 높진 않거든요, 건물이. 그리고 도로도 그렇게 크지도 않고. 근데 처음 갔을 때 그냥 진짜 무서울 정도로 너무 새로웠고 약간 미래로 잠깐 가는 느낌이었던 것 같아요.
It does feel like that. to me as well. It's an interesting place where I feel like so much has gone into building the city, but nature is so present as well. The mountains and everything is still so beautiful. It's like a really nice combination of those two things being here, I think. I love being around the mountains.
근데 저도 해외 나가서 이제 다양한 건축물을 보면은 약간 진짜 확실히 다르긴 하구나 그런 생각이 들기는 해요. 저한테는 이제 이게 익숙하니까 아무런 감흥이 없는데 딴 데서 이제 좀 되게 이쁘거나 그런 건물 보면은 저도 되게 비슷한 생각 하는 것 같아요.
Do you love design? You seem to be someone who, apart from music, really likes to observe design, like the way, the angles of things, buildings, architecture.
그쪽으로 그쪽으로 빠졌다면 분야가 아마 그림 혹은 그런 디자인을 하고 있었을 수도 있을 것 같다는 생각은 들기는 해요. 아니면 운동 쪽으로 갔거나. 근데 아무튼 좀 이렇게 어릴 때부터 좀 그리는 걸 좋아했었어서 나중에는 꼭 한번 배워보고 싶어요. 그림이라는 거. 약간 창작물에 되게 약한데 그런 걸 좀 창작해보고 싶기도 하고 그렇습니다.
Someday, right now, you got a new album coming out called Golden, so that will have to wait for a second. The title is beautiful. This is golden to me. It's one of my favorite words, golden. For you, it's very specific. It relates to a nickname that you have, multi-talented, but also being the youngest of a group of 7. Does making this album feel like the first time that you haven't felt like the youngest of anything? In your family, in BTS, that you don't feel that way now?
저는 앞으로 20년, 30년이 지나도 막내인 거는 변함이 없을 거고요. 막내가 그렇게 뭐 싫지도 않고 그 수식어도 약간 황금 막내라는 수식어도 있고 그리고 제가 이 일을 하면서 성장을 하는 거를 제 스스로 지켜봤고 그 다음 지금까지 약간 모든 것이 이렇게 응축된 그런 앨범이라서 너무 기대가 되는 것 같아요. 반응들이.
Do you think that there was a time when you first arrived and you met the guys in BTS that they felt protective of you?
그쵸. 막내란 특권이라는 게 좀 확실히 있었던 것 같고 저도 알게 모르게 그런 도움을 굉장히 많이 받았다고 생각을 해요. 형들이 정말 좋은 사람들이어서 제가 이렇게 좀 조금이라도 선하게 좋은 부분들을 좀 잘 이렇게 형들한테서 빼오지 않았나 그런 생각도 들면서 진짜 이렇게까지 성장하기에 너무나도 큰 도움이 됐죠. 6명 멤버들.
What was it like right at the start, the first few years before everyone started to notice and it started to really happen? Those early times.
There we go.
그때 솔직히 지금 이제 10년이 됐으니까 이제 가물가물한데 그 진짜 멋없었어요. 물론 이제 제가 그때 제시아인 형들이 너무 멋있었는데 근데 저는 솔직히 데뷔 초 그 후 한 몇 년 후의 영상들도 솔직히 못 봐요. 약간 낯간지럽고 약간 민망해서 아무튼 조금 아쉬워요. 제가 그때 생각을 하면 그때부터 조금 더 지금의 감정을 가지고 있는 사람이었다면 어땠을까라는 생각이 듭니다.
But you're young, you're not supposed to. That's the point. You're all learning. Like, it's the thing. I think in time they'll feel special, those memories. Because it's just the 7 of you. Big dreams, right?
그죠? 근데 그때 그러지 못했다면 그러니까 과연 지금의 BTS가 있었을까라는 생각은 들어요. 그렇게 약간 날 것의 그 바이브가 있었기 때문에 그리고 그 7명이 정말 뭐 지금 생각하면 다 모자른 거잖아요. 근데 그 모자란 7명이 모여서 막 그렇게 부대끼면서 있었던 과정이 있었기에 지금의 결과가 나올 수 있었다고 생각해요.
Just real friendship.
Yeah, I think he just hit it on the head. I think that is like real friendship. Um, I can't speak for like all y'all, but some people who are like my closest friends today, we didn't start off as like close friends. Shit, some of my homies we started off as not even banging with each other. Elementary school homies who are still cool with me today. Some of us started off with like fighting, physically fighting each other, and then it grew into like friendship. And those are some of the people I have like some of my closest bonds with. Um, Sometimes in life things just aren't gonna be on the same page or kind of like locked in from the start. You kind of gotta let everything work itself out. And I feel like Cookie, even with his answer, well, not his answer, with him talking about how he felt like everybody kind of lacked something and they kind of grew upon that. It kind of shaped BTS into like such the amazing group that they are today, where as uber talented as every member was, it was something to build up on to the point where now they're so vastly multi-talented on so many different layers on top of the talent that was already there. I just think it's a compelling, not only like an underdog story, but it just seems like it was destined to be like that. So I love
That's
I
what
love all
everyone
this.
loves, apart from the music and the skill, is the friendship. Isn't there a barbecue joint around here that you all used to go and eat in the early days together?
여기 아니고 진짜 그 제일 첫 연습실이었어요. 지하에 우리 연습실이 있었고 그 이제 지상 1층에 식당이 있었는데 거기 이모님이 굉장히 잘 챙겨주셨죠. 막 고기도 가끔씩 구워주시고 그때는 이제 용돈도 많이 못 받고 약간 막 하루에 컵라면 한 두세 개로 이렇게 좀 지냈던 시절이었는데
I know that life.
참 고맙죠. 거기 생각하면.
That must have been tough for Jin, being the resident chef of the band, to not be able to cook for everybody. Did he used to cook for you as well? Did Jin used to cook meals for you when you was first starting out?
네. 그때 한창 진영이 요리에 꽂혀 있었을 때라 뭔가 본인이
Shout
직접
out to Jen.
나서서 좀 가끔씩 요리를 해줬던 것 같아요. 근데 제일 기억에 남았던 게 그 치즈가 이렇게 올려져 있는 고추장 삼겹살, 고추장찌개나 고추장 삼겹살. 그게 정말 맛있었어요.
It's crazy talking about the early days. I wanted to go back there because we could never talk about everything you've achieved in the time we have, and we're not here to. What you've achieved with your friends in BTS is unheard of. Congratulations! It's incredible what you've achieved.
Thank you.
Yeah. But here we are, and the reason that we're talking about Golden is because it's a new era for the band. I wanted to ask what that conversation was like when you first came together with your team and as a band, and a decision was made for everyone to make their own music. What was sort of said in that conversation? How did you all come to that conclusion?
일단 저희 래퍼 라인 형들 남준 RM 슈가 제이홉의 영향이 일단 굉장히 컸고 왜냐면은 이제 데뷔하고 나서 틈틈이 본인의 작업물을 이렇게 항상 올려줬기 때문에 거기서 되게 그 보컬 멤버들이 자극을 되게 많이 받았어요. 그래서 그냥 뭐 커버도 내고 아니면 뭐 팬송도 내고 홀리데이처럼 그런 식으로 좀 옆에서 지켜보면서 약간 이게 자연스러워진 것 같아요. 본인의 것을 뭔가 하는 거, 본인의 것을 내는 거. 그래서 지금 이제 어쨌든 상황 때문에 이제 솔로 활동을 하게 됐고 그냥 알아서 좀 자연스럽게 각자 그렇게 된 것 같아요. 뭔가 이유는 솔직히 세븐 싱글로 내기 전에도 뭔가 별다른 계획이 없었던 사람이라서 저는 그냥 그 곡을 듣고 그냥 해야겠다 그런 생각 들어서 약간 하게 된 것 같아요. 근데 아무튼 그 셋의 영향이 되게 컸다. 그렇게 자연스럽게 만들어줘서.
I think about 2020 and I think about Still With You, self-produced, so you made that yourself, which was amazing, and you put it out on SoundCloud. I wanted to ask you how important it was that you did it yourself and it wasn't on streaming services or officially released at that point. It felt like a free gift to the fans. How important was that song towards you sort of taking the first step towards Golden and what we have now?
저는 그 스티미뿐만이 아니라 골드는 지금 현 시점이 가장 제 인생에서 물론 팀 활동도 너무 중요하긴 했지만 그와 똑같이 굉장히 중요한 순간이라고 생각을 해서 그냥 제가 옛날에 막 소심하고 막 자신감도 없고 그랬었는데 이제 데뷔 때부터 지금까지 활동을 해가면서 나에 대해 알아가는 게 있고 수식어가 붙고 이런 성과들을 보면서 자신감도 얻고 여러 가지 그 전부가 합쳐져서 만들어진 앨범이라서 그 중에 스티미드도 영향은 있다.
I just love that you produced it yourself.
그것도 아까 말했듯이 멤버들이 먼저 앞에서 안 그려졌으면 저는 뭔가 시도할 생각조차 안 했을 거예요.
So humble, so humble, and sorry, like I said, y'all know I don't really like pausing and everything like that. Anytime, you know, other members in BTS, but specifically JK right here, have the opportunity to either big up themselves, to take credit for anything, or to kind of even cut some of the details, because sometimes people in life will do things to where even if somebody like put them on or kind of help them with something, they might kind of gloss over the situation. But just being a good human being, being humble, and just, you know, giving his brothers the credit for helping with certain things or even guiding him in certain directions and stuff is just like you really just take your hats off to somebody like this. Like this is somebody that people should inspire to act like and be like, and you can tell that him growing up around the guys, he took the best core traits from all of them and just kind of amalgamated like all of them all into like one. So you know, it's a beautiful thing, man. I love Cookie, man.
제 성격이요.
And now you're on a song with Central
Central
C
C
and
and
Kid
Kid
Laroi
Laroi.
Too Much, right? Which is just like a standalone. It's not part of Golden, but I love that because it's like you're having a lot of fun. Do you feel, even though you want this to be successful, it feels loose to me. Do you feel more relaxed doing songs like that? A little less pressure?
제 거도 즐기고 그다음 외부 작업도 이제 즐기는데 솔직히 부담감은 외부 거를 할 때가 더 약간 올 때가 있어요. 왜냐면 몇 개 아니니까. 그래서 이 곡에 민폐가 되면 안 되니까. 그래서 더 뭔가 더 긴장하고 이번에 그 뮤비 찍으러 갔을 때도 저희 현장이 아니라 다른 사람 남의 현장인 거잖아요. 그래서 오히려 그때 더 약간 압박감을 받는 것 같아요. 저는.
So loose as it feels on set videos like that, we then see the performance video for 3D, and it's just beautifully choreographed, and you're moving better than you've ever moved, even without the boys around you. How has your sort of dancing changed? How has your approach to that craft changed now that you're stepping out on your own? Does it feel different for you from a choreography point of view as much as it does from a music point of view?
그 춤을 어떤 한 장르를 배운 게 아니라서 안무부터 시작을 했는데 그래서 계속 코레오만 하다 보니까 그냥 더 잘하지도 더 못하지도 않는 그러니까 내 느낌이 없는 그 나의 춤 스타일이 없는 듯한 느낌을 예전에 많이 받았던 것 같아요. 그래서 제가 예전에 제 모습을 보면 되게 약간 없어 보이고 약간 부족해 보이는 게 약간 그런 이유에서 있고 근데 이제 저는 제가 모르게 뭐 배우는 게 많아요. 춤이든 노래든 아니면 성격이든 말투든 그래서 춤도 약간 그런 영향이 있었던 것 같아요. 그냥 많이 보다가 스스로 내가 느끼지 못하는 순간에도 느끼고 그러다가 그 점차 그냥 제가 춤을 막 연습을 시간을 따로 빼서 하는 건 아닌데
Naturally been killing shit since day
근데
one.
그게 자연스럽게 바뀌더라고요. 신기하게. 뭔가 내가 그 길을 연습하는 것도 아니고. 그래서 저는 그냥 그런 식으로 계속 살아가고 있었던 것 같아요. 근데 그게 자연스럽게 좀 묘하게 보이지 않았나? 네, 저도 모르게 춤이 성장이 돼 있었어요.
One of the other things that really different this time around is the lyrics, some of the lyrics on Seven, on the explicit version. I mean, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I'm not sure we would have heard that being sung by you. Obviously, it comes naturally to you. This is what you want to sing, what you want to say. Was it a
Tell him, Cookie,
conversation? Did you
tell
have
him
a
I'm
conversation
grown.
with anybody close to you that, hey, I want to approach these songs in a more honest and unfiltered way?
일단은 지금 제가 세븐부터 그다음 지금 골든 앨범까지 제 이야기를 담은 곡은 없어요. 없는데 약간 전부 다 사랑 노래잖아요. 지금 제일 보편적인 감정이 아닌가 싶어서 그냥 그 안에서의 좋은 곡들을 이렇게 받아서 한번 작업을 해보고 싶었어요. 그래서 앨범에도 이렇게 쭉 뭔가 이어지는 느낌이 드는 것도 약간 그런 이유에서 있고 그리고 이제 지금 뭐 시기가 좀 중요한 시기인데 근데 또 그런 가사를 솔직하게 할 수 있는 시기도 좀 지금 이렇게 약간 영하고 뭔가 이미지 전환 이런 게 어쨌든 필요는 하니까 그래서 조금 가사 저한테도 조금 이렇게 부담스럽긴 한데 그래도 좀 도전 아닌 도전 느낌이지 않은 솔직히 걱정도 많이 했어요 가사 때문에.
What's one of your favorite moments recording Golden?
그냥 다양한 장르의 곡을 그리고 다양한 주제를 담고 있는 그 가사들을 그냥 그 영어를 뭔가 이때까지 단체였고 아니면 뭐 팬송 위주로 개인곡을 이렇게 했잖아요. 근데 이번에 뭔가 그 많은 곡들을 혼자서 뭔가 소화를 해내는 그 과정들이 그냥 전체적으로 다 너무 즐거웠던 것 같아요. 해외에서 이제 해외 프로듀서랑 같이 이렇게 옆에 찰싹 붙어가지고 녹음하는 그 과정도 너무 재밌었고 곡을 하나하나 완성했을 때 느껴지는 그 성취감 난 너무 좋았고 약간 그 과정 자체가 너무 좋았던 것 같아요.
You get to leave the studio and you get in the car and you put it on straight away and you listen to it and you're like, oh, it's good. Like it's as good as I remember it. It's good.
거기 사운드도 빵빵하고 너무 좋더라고요.
You said something really interesting when you spoke to Rolling Stone about Seven, because the journalist said oh, it's going to be a big hit. And you seemed surprised, like, oh, I don't really have expectations for this. I hope so, but it's not like what I'm going into it for. Nothing can be as big as where BTS is now, like stadiums all over the world. So this is a new start to some degree. Has it been fun kind of resetting your expectations and being able to just kind of almost start again a little bit? Like Harry Styles said that to me. He said to me, when I started making my own stuff again, different circumstances because they broke up, but he wasn't walking into the expectation of what he'd done before with the band.
저 일단은 세븐을 냈을 때 내기 전에도 솔직히 자신감은 있었던 것 같아요. 확실하게 있었고 기대를 했어요. 근데 막 이 곡 가지고 뭐 여기까지 찍겠다 약간 이런 거보다는
Shit, you broke
그냥
everything,
내가
bro.
좋게 느끼는 그 곡을 냈을 때 그걸 사람들이 공감을 해줄까 거기에 좀 더 관점이 있었던 것 같았고 그러니까 내가 그 곡을 듣는 그 부분도 과연 좋을까? 내가 좋아하는 곡이 다른 사람들이 입맛에 다 좋아할 수 있는 그런 곡인가? 그런 게 너무 궁금했었고 저도 솔직히 예상은 안 돼요. 저도 저를 예상을 못 하겠어요. 앞으로 어떻게 될지 모르겠고 이러다가 막 뭐 갑자기 막 다른 일을 할 수도 있는 거 모르겠어요. 근데 어쨌든 음악에 대한 열정은 무수히 높고 많을 것 같아요. 앞으로도 그게 계속 이어질 것 같아요. 네.
But it's a hit. But you know now.
But it is a hit. And you can feel that, man, in Jung Kook's songs, and just his music, the passion and the love for music. You know, some of the big, well, let me reword that. Some of my biggest issues with music is that most of the times when people are doing like their content, they have like an agenda. And when I say agenda, I mean almost like somebody be like, yo, I'm about to do a song and I just want a number one hit, or I just want it to chart. I don't really give a fuck about the lyrics. I don't care about anything. I want the song to chart. Let me see if I can find like a reference track that I think people would like, and I'm just gonna kind of put it out there. Every single time J.K. talks about why songs were selected on this album, just about, you know, like his thought process behind everything, it always is, I fell in love with this track. I thought this would be a good concept and a universal theme that people could get behind. You know, once I heard the melody, I fell in love with the melody and I wanted to do this. He always puts the music first, and then whatever the results is, he lives with it. One of my biggest sayings, and I tell everybody that, you know, is around me, like, talent will always outshine anything. And if you have talent and you display it, people will gravitate toward it at some point. You don't need to do certain things for like clickbait, or need to do certain things for, you know, for anything to like kind of go viral when you're just talented. And the fact that he's hand selecting these songs, he just knows like what he wants to do and he puts it out there and continues to break records, is just a beautiful thing. You know, he's not one of these bullshit artists that are just like, oh, well, you know, fuck it. He could have easily been like, yo, 7 was a hit. Let me try to do the same concept right over again to kind of just double down on that since people liked it and kind of go from there. Because that's what you see a lot of goofies do. People will drop something and then it'll be hot. And mind you, sometimes if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But that gets boring. You know, I champion for JK just because as soon as like 7 was done, 3D is a totally different song. Standing Next to You is a totally different song. You know, he wasn't scared to attack music in like different ways, and I think like that's dope, and it was a hit. These are all hits.
Because it's a hit. It's like a number
It's
one
a hit.
You know, and you're performing it in front of crowds, and you know, people are loving this music that you're playing, and on just you. So you're over that. But I was watching footage of you and the boys in front of 80,000 people, and I was wondering. I've got to ask, like,
Do you miss it?
I know what it's like being in the crowd and hearing that noise. What does it feel like on stage when that level of noise and that level of love and support is all being directed toward you? What is that feeling like?
말로 형용할 수가 없는 그런 느낌인데, 그냥 세상 좋은 말 다 갖다 붙이는 그런 느낌. 모르겠어요. 이제 천국인가? 약간 모르겠는데 아무튼 너무 좋고 너무 좋고, 그리고 나를 응원해주는 사람과 함께 그 공간에서 같이 노래를 부른다는 게, 가수가, 이거는 정말 행복한 일인 것 같아. 아무튼 그냥 소름 끼칠 정도로 너무 행복해.
These highs, these enormous highs that you get from having that relationship with the fans from stage to audience. I've talked to so many artists throughout my life, and I know that you have to work really hard for that not to affect your identity in a way that is unrealistic. That you have to find a way to remember who you are either side of that experience. Does that make sense to you? Have you and the boys had to figure that out over time as well, to not live your life like you're on that stage to understand that there's another you?
아니요, 전혀 신경 안 써요. 전혀 신경 안 쓰고 저는 분리를 시키지 않아요. 그냥 저는 올굿이 그냥 저 하나밖에 없고 그냥
Just
지금의
one man.
저 그 무대 위에 나는 없어요. 그냥 나인 거예요. 그리고 그거를 막 예전에는 막 분리를 시켜 막 반하고 막 사춘기 그때는 좀 분리를 시켜놓으려고 했었는데 지금은 그냥 다 받아들이는 것 같아요. 인정할 거 인정하고 그냥 그게 나로 사는 거라서 그게 가장 좋은 방법이지 않을까 싶어요 저는.
Do you have a favorite song on the album?
Standing Next to You.
Oh yeah.
그러니까 그게는 뭔가 곡이 물론 좋아요. 물론 좋은데 그냥 그런 느낌보다 더 크게 다가왔던 거는 그냥 곡의 그림이었어요. 되게 웅장한 그림이 보였고 그리고 그 곡을 가지고 무대를 하는 제 모습이 먼저 확 보였던 것 같아요. 그래서 좀 이번 앨범의 타이틀에 가장 맞는 곡이 아닐까 싶었고 선택하게 됐죠. 그래서 굉장히 애착이 있는 곡이에요. 녹음 과정도 너무 힘들었어가지고.
What song do you think on Golden will surprise ARMY the most?
그것도 스탠딩 넥스트 같은데요. 근데 아미들한테 좀 해주고 싶은 얘기는 그 스탠딩 넥스트는 좀 이어폰이나 아니면 뭐 스마트폰으로 말고 좀 스피커를 이렇게 좀 빵빵하게 해가지고 들어줬으면 좋겠다고 얘기해주고 싶어요.
Blasting in the car.
그거에 너무나도 장르가 다 달라서 솔직히 모르겠어요. 근데 제가 생각했을 때는 타이틀곡 제외하고 Hate You라는 곡이 있는데 그 곡을 좋아하지 않을까? 라는 생각은 합니다. 근데 이거가 맞아 떨어지면 저는 거기서 한 번 더 1등이 되는 거죠.
Oh, no question about that. Yeah, no doubt about that. The relationship you have with ARMY is incredible. I'm a fan of what you as a band and your fans have built together because I think it's more than just a fan base. I think you push each other to be accountable, to create awareness for things that you care about. And it's a very emotionally intelligent experience that you have with your fan base. What is the thing that you love the most about that dynamic between you and ARMY?
그 한국에 친구 따라 강남 간다는 말이 있는데 방탄이 아미를 따라간 느낌인지 아미가 방탄을 따라간 느낌인지 모르겠는데 그냥 서로 그 유대감이나 약간 의지? 서로 의지하는 그런 부분이 가장 특별한 부분이 아닌가 싶고 저는 제가 거기서 더 나가서 아예 진짜 편하게 대하고 싶어요 아미들을 정말 그냥 나중에는 그냥 진짜 그냥 솔직히 이제 가수는 팬들에게 지켜야 될 선이 있잖아요. 뭐 물론 선은 지킬 거예요. 팬들에 대한 예의는 갖출 건데 근데도 결국에는 진짜 정말 터놓고 다 얘기하는 그런 친구처럼 약간 그런 것도 좀 있는 것 같아요.
It's important that this album reaches as many people as possible for you, for the band, because of what you established this to be, which is each of you growing and learning new skills and doing it on your own. But are you excited about the potential of 2025? Are you already nervous and excited about the BTS machine, really, the idea of this huge, momentous experience starting up again? Are you already thinking about that, or is it too far away?
먼 미래라고는 절대로 생각 안 하고요. 이번 솔로 앨범 준비하면서 그리고 활동을 하면서 참 그리울 때가 있었어요. 그러니까 그냥 뭐 대기실에 있거나 아니면 혼자 무대를 서거나 아니면 뭐 스태프들이랑 밥을 먹거나 뭐 그럴 때마다 확실히 그 몇 년 동안 같이 옆에서 있었던 그 멤버들의 빈자리가 확실히 느껴졌었고 많이 생각하게 되는 것 같아요. 그래서 그렇기 때문에 좀 멀게 느껴질 수는 있다만 근데 저는 그렇게 생각하지 않으려고 하고 있고 절대로 아니라고 생각하고 저는 2025년에 BTS의 시너지는 어마어마할 거라고 생각합니다. 그 모습이 너무 기대가 돼요.
If you changed your screensaver,
Yeah, so I try to model a lot of what the channel does and how we operate, almost based on what BTS does. Just even from day one on the channel, if our first reaction might be seven of us actually. Um, but it's ironic that he's talking about doing solo work and everything like that, and just kind of like filling a void. Some people, and I'm being transparent, like may not understand kind of how hard it is when you do content, outside of whatever regular job that you have with, six or seven other people, how hard it can be to like get those people on the same page. And it's been so many things going on in the past couple months here that you know whether it's mental health, whether it's real health, whether it's working, whether it's traveling or anything else, when things go on with people who are on the panel and they have to like kind of handle their business, they kind of have to go. But I still have an obligation to make sure, every Tuesday and Friday, content drops. So I remember having to do some reactions for the first time by myself with nobody around, and it was a void. You kind of miss like those interactions to where, you can banter with somebody, or y'all might see something and y'all have a conversation and then bring it up again. Or even if, I'm giving my spill and stuff and I'm done, there's still other people who interpreted what we saw a different way. With that being said, I had to lean on the Redeemers a lot for a lot of, reactions that I was doing by myself, to where I almost to 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 take away some of that void, I had to act like the Redeemers were literally with me while we watch content together. And being as engaging as I can with the Redeemers, almost like I'm engaging with anybody that's sitting next to me when we're doing content. So I wholeheartedly feel how he feels when it's just like, you know, starting and having so many different people to kind of lean on when you're doing your craft and you're being creative, versus when you have to do the same thing and you're by yourself. And y'all know I love reactions, so I'm gonna always be able to get a great reaction, whether it's me by myself or whether I have 10 people kind of next to me like talking. But the relationship that he talked about with like Army and with BTS is literally how I look at the relationship I have with Redeemers, versus like, the redemption panel, to where, sometimes people can find in me, or sometimes people use the channel as a source for strength and energy and lean on us. When I need strength and energy, I lean on y'all. And I kind of look at that, just like, where obviously you don't want to cross certain lines, like you said, or just kind of, get too, into anything with people who are being supportive of what you're doing. But, I definitely use the Redeemers as a strong source of anything when I'm going through shit. So, I appreciate y'all, and I just, kind of want y'all to know I feel JK 1,000% where he's coming from with that. And it's beautiful. And I love that, like, that's been a staple of, like, just BTS's DNA, ironically, since day one. Just the relationship with Army and how they lean on Army for everything. And I think that's beautiful. And that was one of the biggest components of me joining.
Computer on your phone today, and you wanted to put one image or one memory or one experience you've had since we got to know you in BTS and now in your own solo career, what would that image be? What would you change your screensaver to right now? It could just be a memory, not even a photo.
이건 바로 제가 제 성격에 바로 고를 수가 없어요. 고민을 좀 해봐야 되는데.
But that just tells me that you're still in the moment, you know, like it may be years before you were able to even reflect or think about everything that's happened in the last 10 plus years. Is that where you'd like to stay right now, is not thinking back and not thinking about all those times and just focus on today and focus on the future?
네, 무조건 미래만 보고 과거의 것들은 진짜 최대한 안 남겨놓으려고 해요. 왜냐면은 일단은 사람 자체가 어디 머물러 있는 걸 굉장히 안 좋아해서 진짜 실제 장소든 아니면 뭐 기억이든 아니면 뭔가 내가 실수를 했던가 근데 거기 머물러 있는 걸 너무 싫어하기 때문에 항상 현재만 바라보고 있는 것 같아요. 현재나 미래. 미래도 그렇게 보는 게 아니라 그냥 지금을 보는 것 같아요. 네, 그런 성격이에요. 근데 그 과거의 그거를 지워버리는 게 아니라 확실하게 인지를 하고 인정을 한 다음에 다음 스텝으로 넘어가는 거예요. 그게 그런 과정이 있기 때문에 제가 계속 생각하고 판단하고 앞으로 걸어갈 수 있는 거라서. 근데 거기에 머물러 있는 게 얽매여 있는 게 저는 되게 미련한 짓이라고 생각을 하거든요. 그래서 바짝 후회하고 바짝 인정하고 앞으로 간다. 이게 제 삶의 모토입니다.
Look at this building. Look at this city. 19 floors up, and you started out right down there on the ground, right? Just running around trying to figure it out. And now this whole building exists because your band and some really smart people who love music formed a partnership. And look what you've done, not just for music, but for Korea, South Korea, for music around the world. What are you most proud of right now in terms of everything you've achieved with the boys and yourself and with...
That's kind of creepy. It's weird they're 19 floors up on like the high building. My like condo that I live in, I'm on the 19th floor.
Hyde. What are you most proud of?
그냥 전부 다 포함이 되는 것 같아요. 그냥 어떻게 보면 저의 혹은 이제 멤버들의 그다음 하이브 빅히트의 업적인 거잖아요. 그게 물질적으로도 혹은 뭐 위상이나 이런 것들도 전부 다 그래서 전부 다 포함이 되니까 모르겠네요. 근데 거기에 생각을 많이는 안 하는 것 같아요. 저는 그냥 내가 지금 하고 있는 거를 계속 생각해가지고 제 자신이 생각하는 1순위는 좀 말이 좀 모순인데 나를 생각하는 게 가장 먼저인데 내가 가장 먼저 생각하는 거는 암이거든요. 가족도 아니고 BTS 멤버들도 아니고 암인데 그냥 서로 이제 BTS 그다음 정국으로서 아미랑 함께하는 그런 부분을 오히려 더 생각하는 것 같아요. 뭔가 목표라거나 그런 것들보다 내가 이 사람들에 의해서 혹은 이 사람들 때문에 그게 즐거워서 내가 어떤 무언가를 하고 그게 업적이 되는 거지 순서가 그게 먼저가 아니에요. 전.
Makes total sense. Listen, I've had such a good time in this city, and I've wanted to come here and have a conversation like this with you for a long time because it's such a remarkable story in music. It's a remarkable story in terms of opening up these boundaries around the world that were set for artists to be able to be heard or not heard. You've changed so much whether you realize it or not, so I'm really grateful to be able to just grab some time at this important moment. Wish you all the best with Golden.
Yeah.
Great to meet you, great to hang. Thanks for having us here. We've had a great time.
저도 이렇게 진짜 먼 거리인데 이렇게 인터뷰 하나 때문에 날라와 주셔서 너무 감사드리고 그다음에 좋은 말 해주셔서 좋은 인터뷰 해줘서 너무 감사드리고 제가 나중에 좀 더 영어를 잘하게 된다면 다음에 한국 오실 때 제가 맛있는 고기 사드리겠습니다.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We can eat.
Yeah, eat and drink.
And drink. Swear trying to turn that into a Stetchy Tie episode. Man, first off, like shout out to JK. I know it's a million things going on right now for him as far as doing all the promotions for Golden. I'm pretty sure he's probably still doing content as far as like recording tracks or writing songs or just being collaborative. Photo shoots, live performances, like interviews. He's a busy guy. I know y'all hear the saying all the time, it's not enough time in the day. And I can only imagine what he's going through. With that being said, this was a phenomenal interview. This might have been one of my favorite interviews. Shout out to the guy that was interviewing him as well. I felt like he conducted himself. Zane Lowe, thank you. Shout out Zane Lowe. I felt like he conducted himself very well. Was so knowledgeable because sometimes you'll see people do interviews with BTS or BTS members and you can just tell that they don't know shit. They didn't study anything. They aren't fans and sometimes try to come across as fans. And it just shows at interviews when the questions are just mundane or stupid as shit or just dumb shit that, no one should be asking people. But I thought this was comfortable. Shout out to Cookie, Hybe, and Big Hit just for making him seem so relaxed and just having like a great setting for them to kind of get into all this. And I also like that for some of y'all that don't know, my main job is I'm a tax examiner for the IRS. Please don't unfollow me. I'm not going to get y'all. But, we get taught there, and even in college with interpersonal communication classes I had, that even if you don't speak that native tongue or you don't speak the language of someone that you're talking to or interviewing, you still want to give them like eye contact. You still want to like listen to what they're saying and everything like that. And you still want to talk to them, not to an interpreter and not to kind of anybody else. So, as far as the interview goes, I'm glad, he was giving him that eye contact and that energy and everything, regardless of the language barrier somewhat. Like I said, just asking dope questions, giving us a little bit more information on certain things that we didn't know, or I guess certain things that, I wasn't privy to, and just getting to peel back a little bit more layers, just about Jung Kook and just about some of the things that, have changed for him over the year, his views and standpoints on some stuff, and still finding that good balance of asking him questions about himself and about Golden and also about BTS and just kind of the future of that. Again, just seeing him being able to kind of double down on the love for ARMY and the love for BTS was heartwarming. All BTS members are doing such a very phenomenal job at being honest and also making us feel very comfortable about their return once everybody links back up in 2025. I thought Cookie was super humble during this whole experience here. Just so honest too. Like this felt like one of the more comfortable interviews as far as like him talking to somebody else, at least that I've seen. Because I always say like, the Stetchy Tie Jones are decent, and when they did the behind story Jones were decent too. But they always seem more comfortable when they're actually talking to like a group member as opposed to like kind of somebody from like a media outlet or anything. But he seemed super comfortable here, didn't mind telling like his story, and just went about it in like a super dope way. I like to get in a little bit more backstory about just, if he wasn't doing what he was doing now, he'd probably be doing sports or something very creative. Whether it was designing things or drawing or getting into kind of stuff like that. He got the opportunity to show love to Busan on here and also still big up Seoul at the same time. I like the backstory of just kind of, things he wished he kind of could change and everything like that, and just how some of the earlier moments with BTS and just earlier things when he looks back on them were a bit cringy or embarrassing. And I get it. You know, sometimes that's life. It's 2023. You know, look back at what you might have been doing in 2013. Yeah, it was cringy, right? Or you probably felt embarrassed about, you know, just the way you might have conducted yourself in some situations. But, you know, that's a part of life. That's, you know, just we move forward and we grow from those things. And that's why, you know, hopefully you're not the same person today that you were 10 years ago. I hope you're a better person. But all in all, like I said, I thought this was beautiful. I had the opportunity to just kind of learn a little bit more. And, you know, as we go farther back in, especially like earlier days, because it's a lot of stuff that we still, you know, got to get into and still got to do from BTS, especially those early days where I'm going to have the opportunity to see a little bit more of what Cookie was talking about. And I'm pretty sure y'all going to tell me in the comments, like, you know, some more information if I asked the question or I had to like kind of miss out on anything. But this was just dope as hell. I really enjoyed this a lot. And I want more, man. It's crazy because this was almost a 35-minute interview. And it felt like part one of part five or something like that. It still felt like it was enough legs on here to kind of go like longer if they wanted to. But like I said, I know Cookie is busy, so you know my selfish ass appreciates just 30 minutes of his time. But yeah, that's pretty much my spill on here. It's about getting that time for me. I gotta get ready to go to set. But just like Cookie said, I definitely want to give a big shout out to Army. There's people who have been supporting this channel for over 2 years. There's some people who've been supporting this channel for over 2 weeks. Regardless, I appreciate all the love, all like the positive energy and the feedback that you guys give daily. I always say that, you know, there's so many different people doing content, like for, you know, BTS and K-pop and everything. And I'm very appreciative of no matter how many eyes are, you know, watching the content, whether that's 4 or 5 people for one video or 100,000 people for another video. You know, I just hope at some point in that day it gave you the entertainment that you wanted to give, the smiles that you wanted to give, and if it was therapeutic enough, maybe even the cries that you wanted it to give. But I know what BTS did for me, and I know that when I didn't have nobody to talk to, basically anything K-pop related, I needed an outlet, and YouTube was a big outlet for me. I hope this is a big outlet for you, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. More content will be coming on the way. I'm about to get into this crazy ass weekend, but I wanted to spend some time with you guys. I hope y'all having a phenomenal day. I probably said that like 2 times already. I gotta go. I love y'all. Peace. And just know I'm standing next to you. I got blasted in the car on the way to set.
그죠? 근데 그때